The mirror doesn't lie. You do. Every morning you wake up, you look at yourself and tell yourself stories about why you're too tired, why you can't, why you deserve a break. You tell yourself that tomorrow is the day, that next week will be different, that someone else will carry the weight for you. But look closer. That reflection staring back, it's weak, it's soft, it's mediocre, and it's exactly why nothing in your life is changing. Ask yourself, are you really giving everything? Or are you just showing up? Are you grinding when no one's watching, when the lights are off, when the comfort of your bed or your couch is whispering sweet lies? Or are you letting comfort decide your limits? Think about all the moments you could have pushed harder, all the chances you let slip because it was easier to quit, easier to scroll, easier to sleep. That wasted time is a debt you cannot recover. That unfulfilled potential, that's your life slipping through your fingers. Every second you choose ease over discipline, you are betraying yourself. By the end of this hour, something will shift. You will feel it in your bones. You will feel the sting of truth and the burning of shame. And if you let it hit you, if you let it sink deep, it will force you to change. You will not leave the same person you are right now. Comfort is a cage. Discipline is the key. And right now you are standing at the bars of your own prison. The choice is yours. Keep lying, keep hiding, keep wasting, or face the brutal truth. The mirror is waiting. The reflection will not forgive. It will not lie. Your life isn't waiting for you to get motivated. It's passing. Every second you hesitate, every excuse you whisper, every compromise you accept, it's another step toward regret. Today is not about tomorrow. Today is about facing your weakness, naming it, and deciding that you are not leaving it untouched. You are not leaving this room the same person who sat down to watch this video. This is the moment. This is the strike against comfort, the spark against weakness. And if you stay with it, if you let every word hit hard, by the end of this hour, you will feel that fire inside and it will demand action. There's no going back. There's no maybe tomorrow. There's only the truth staring back at you from the mirror and the choice to destroy it or be destroyed by it. You want to succeed, but the truth is you won't. Not yet. Not while you're hiding behind the safety of excuses. Excuses are the slow poison of potential, the invisible chains keeping you trapped in the same mediocrity you complain about every day. And here's the brutal truth. Every excuse you've ever made is just a lie you tell yourself to feel comfortable while you fail. Stop lying. Stop pretending the world is against you, that circumstances are unfair, that people, the economy, your genetics, or your upbringing are holding you back. That story you're telling yourself, it's convenient, it's comfortable, it's weak, and it's exactly why your life looks the way it does right now. Every excuse is a choice to avoid the hard work, to dodge responsibility, to remain a spectator in the one game that actually matters, your own life. Let's break it down. How many excuses do you make every day? Too tired, too stressed, not enough time, I'll start tomorrow, I'm not ready, that's too hard. You tell yourself these things as if repeating them enough makes them true, but they don't. Excuses are illusions, smoke, and mirrors for people unwilling to confront the brutal reality. You are the one standing in your own way. Every excuse has a cost. Every I can't is a small nail in the coffin of your potential. The time you spend justifying why you aren't doing what you should be doing is time you can never get back. The opportunities you let pass because you weren't willing to put in the work are gone forever. And the worst part, you know it. Deep down, every time you say, I can't, there's a voice inside your head that knows it's lying. And that voice, it hates you for ignoring it. Excuses are comfortable because they absolve you of responsibility, but they're also the enemy of growth. The only way to escape them is radical accountability. You must stare at every excuse you've made in your life and ask yourself, did this excuse get me closer to my goals, or did it bury me deeper in regret? Most of the time, the answer is obvious. Every failure you've experienced, every goal missed, every opportunity squandered, excuses were there whispering lies while your life slipped past you. Let's get personal. Maybe you're blaming your job, your school, your family, or the lack of resources. Maybe you're telling yourself the world is against you. Stop it. Stop lying. Stop hiding. There's no sympathy in life for excuses. Nobody will rescue you. Nobody will carry your burden. There is only one person who can change your trajectory. You. Every failure is on you. Every win is on you. Own it. Radical accountability is the compass pointing straight toward progress. Without it, you're just wandering. Now, I want you to think about the lies you tell yourself daily. I'm too tired to work out. I can't focus today. I'll get to it later. These are not small things. These are the chains around your wrists, dragging you toward the life you say you don't want. Each excuse reinforces weakness. Each avoidance cements failure. Excuses are nothing but a slow, calculated surrender to the person you know you're capable of becoming. Breaking free requires action. It's not enough to recognize that your excuses are lies, you have to attack them. You have to destroy them before they destroy you. When you fail, don't hide, don't justify. Analyze, learn, reframe failure as feedback, not as defeat. Every misstep is a lesson in disguise. Every obstacle you thought was insurmountable is just a test of your willingness to stop whining and start doing. The stronger you get at owning your failures, the weaker excuses become. They can't survive accountability. They can't thrive in the presence of discipline. Picture this. You're a soldier on the battlefield. The fight is brutal, relentless, unforgiving. But your comrades are counting on you. Every time you make an excuse, it's like leaving a man behind. You're abandoning your mission. You're letting weakness win. Excuses aren't just hurting you, they're hurting your potential, your progress, and the person you could become if you stop lying to yourself. Here's the challenge. For the next hour, for the next day, for the next week, catch every excuse. Name it, own it, kill it, replace it with action. Not tomorrow, not when you feel like it, right now. Radical accountability is not a concept, it's not a philosophy, it's a lifestyle. It's the brutal acknowledgement that the only way to move forward is to stop hiding and start doing, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's hard, even when every fiber of your body screams to quit. Excuses die when action is born. Weakness flees when ownership is embraced. Mediocrity crumbles when discipline dominates. This is the first step. The mirror already called you out. Now it's time to stop lying to yourself, stop blaming the world, and start building the person who refuses to accept anything less than excellence. Every second you delay, you're choosing weakness. Every second you act, you're choosing growth. This is not a suggestion. This is not advice. This is a command from the reality you've been avoiding. Kill your excuses, own your failures. Take responsibility for everything in your life. Stop hiding, stop whining, stop waiting. The battlefield is waiting, your life is waiting. The question is simple. Are you going to step up or are you going to keep lying to yourself? Comfort is the silent killer. It whispers lies, tells you that enough is enough, convinces you to stop before the work is done, but growth never comes from comfort. The moment you decide to settle, the moment you choose ease over effort, you step off the path of progress. Suffering is the currency of success. Pain is the teacher. And the only way to earn your strength is to embrace it, to seek it, to walk willingly into the fire that others run from. Most people quit when the first wave of discomfort hits. A difficult workout, a long night of study, a day of relentless work, they stop, they crumble. Why? Because suffering is foreign, because it hurts, because it asks them to pay a price. But here's the brutal truth. If you aren't willing to suffer, you will never grow. The body, the mind, the spirit, they demand challenge. They are forged under pressure, tested in the fire, hardened by resistance. Every drop of sweat, every aching muscle, every mental scream is a step toward a version of yourself most people will never know exists. Let's be clear, suffering is not optional. It is unavoidable if you want to break the mold of mediocrity. Life does not hand out trophies for comfort. Success is not delivered on a silver platter while you sleep. It is wrested from the earth with blood, grit, and sheer refusal to quit. You must train yourself to find peace in the pain, to see opportunity in every struggle, to recognize that the grind, the relentless, punishing grind is where transformation lives. Imagine an athlete at the gym. Every repetition burns. Every set feels impossible. Every ounce of energy screams to stop. That is where the battle begins. That is where the weak fall away. That is where the strong are born. Pain is not a signal to retreat. It is a signal to attack, to push harder, to dig deeper. It is the only indicator that growth is happening. Your comfort zone is a prison. Suffering is the key to escape. Most people avoid suffering because they don't understand its purpose. They think pain is the enemy, that discomfort is something to dodge, that life is supposed to feel easy. They are wrong. Pain is progress. Suffering is evolution. When you run past the exhaustion, when you push past the mental wall, when your body wants to quit and your mind refuses, you enter a space most will never see, a space of unshakable resilience. And that resilience, once earned, becomes permanent. It never leaves you. It becomes who you are. This is the mental shift you must make. Pain is no longer punishment. It is proof. Proof that you are growing. Proof that you are breaking weakness. Proof that you are alive in a way that few dare to be. Stop fearing the struggle. Stop running from the fire. Lean into it. Invite it. Chase it. The more you embrace suffering, the less it controls you, the more it transforms you. Think about life's challenges like forging steel. Raw metal is soft, untested, unprepared. Throw it into the fire, beat it with the hammer, bend it under pressure. That is how strength is made. That is how character is built. Every struggle, every pain, every obstacle is a hammer strike, shaping the unbreakable version of yourself. And the more you accept it, the stronger the steel becomes. Conditioning your mind for suffering is not a one-time effort. It is a lifelong process. Every day is a test. Every moment of discomfort is an opportunity to train your brain, to grow your tolerance for adversity, to expand the boundaries of what you are willing to endure. When you learn to embrace suffering, fear loses its power. Doubt becomes irrelevant. Weakness no longer defines you. You move through life with relentless purpose because you know the pain is temporary, but the strength it creates is permanent. Let's be honest, embracing suffering will hurt, it will feel unfair. It will make you question why you even started. That's the point. Growth is never easy, nothing worth having is. Comfort is the lie that keeps you soft. Suffering is the truth that builds you unbreakable. Your goal is not to avoid the burn, the ache. The mental scream is to seek it out, to chase it, to use it as fuel for a life that refuses compromise. This is where most fail. They see the struggle and run. They feel the pain and stop. They choose ease over excellence. But not you. You are not here to be average. You are not here to quit. You are here to suffer, to fight, to endure, and to emerge stronger than you ever imagined. Pain is not your enemy. Discomfort is not your foe. They are your allies, your mentors, your forge. Embrace them. Use them. Let them drive you toward a life defined not by excuses, but by relentless action, unshakable discipline, and unbreakable mental toughness. The choice is simple. You can run from the fire, hide in comfort, and let life pass you by, or you can step into the storm willingly, accept the pain, and let it transform you into someone capable of conquering anything. The path to greatness is lined with suffering. The only question is, will you walk it or will you remain soft? Most people quit when they barely scratch the surface. They collapse at the first sign of fatigue, give up when the discomfort hits, and walk away convinced they've reached their limit. But here's the brutal truth. That's not your limit, not even close. What you call exhaustion is a lie your mind tells you to stop before you've even begun. Most people tap out at 40% of their true capacity, 40% of what they are capable of enduring, achieving, and conquering. That's it, 40. And the remaining 60% of your potential, it's lying dormant, waiting for you to push past the voice in your head that screams, stop. You think you know what your body can handle. You think you've reached the edge of your endurance. You haven't. You've only met the first wall. Beyond that wall lies a level of strength, resilience, and mental toughness that most people never experience because they obey the lie. I can't. But the body is far stronger than the mind will allow you to believe. The mind is the limiter. Your mental walls are illusions, self-imposed barriers designed to keep you comfortable, keep you safe, and keep you weak. Here's the challenge. Every time you feel ready to quit, that's when you are just getting started. Every time your muscles scream, your lungs burn, or your head pounds, that is the signal that you are stepping into your untapped potential. The mind will tell you you're done. The body will protest. Every fiber will beg for relief. And every one of those protests is a test. It is life asking, are you willing to keep going when it hurts, when it's uncomfortable, when everyone else would give up? Ordinary people have done extraordinary things because they ignored the mental walls. Soldiers have marched for days without food or sleep. Athletes have run ultramarathons after collapsing, finding reserves that seem impossible. People have survived situations that would break most minds and bodies because they refused to quit at 40%. They refused to obey the limits others accept as reality. And those people, they discovered a truth most will never know. Your greatest strength doesn't live in comfort. It lives in the moment you say, I'm not done yet. Even when every part of you says stop. You need to identify your self-imposed boundaries. Look at your life and recognize where you've been stopping yourself before the fight is over. Maybe it's in the gym, maybe it's in your work, maybe it's in how far you push yourself mentally or emotionally. That voice that whispers, enough is lying. It has no authority. It does not define your capacity. Your limits are not fixed. They are elastic, expandable, waiting for you to challenge them, to stretch them, to destroy the walls your mind has built. Imagine a marathon runner collapsing at mile 20, convinced he cannot move another step. Every joint aches, every muscle burns, his chest feels like it's on fire. His mind is screaming, quit. Most people stop, but then something happens. He digs deeper. He finds the 60% that was dormant. He ignores the voice. He lifts his legs one step, then another. And suddenly every step becomes possible. Exhaustion transforms into strength. Pain becomes fuel. What seemed impossible becomes reality. That is the 40% rule in action, the discovery that you are capable of far more than you ever imagined if only you refuse to quit. This is not just about physical endurance. Your mental capacity, your discipline, your ability to persist under stress, these are all bound by the same rule. Your mind will tell you it cannot handle the extra work, the long hours, the hard conversations, the difficult choices. It will scream that you've reached your limit long before you have. And most people listen, Most people obey, but if you train yourself to push past the 40%, you unlock a reserve of mental toughness, focus, and resilience that will carry you through anything life throws at you. Here's the actionable truth. Start small, but push beyond what feels comfortable every day. Add one more rep when your arms shake. Write one more page when your eyes burn. Speak one more truth when your heart wants to stay silent. Every time you do, you rewire the brain that once obeyed limits, you build a tolerance for struggle, and you expand the boundaries of your capability. The 40% rule is not a number, it is a mindset, a command, a challenge to refuse weakness, refuse comfort, and refuse the lie that you've done enough. Most people will never know how strong they really are. Most will obey the limits that fear and comfort impose. But you are here, you are listening. You are willing to push when others quit, to stay in the fight when others walk away, to endure when the mind screams stop. And that willingness, that refusal to stop is what separates those who are mediocre from those who are unstoppable. So recognize it, accept it, and then attack it. Step into your 60%, 70%, even 100% of your potential. The wall exists only to be broken. Every mental barrier you smash, every perceived limit you destroy brings you closer to the unshakable, relentless, unstoppable version of yourself. Your life is not limited by your body, your circumstances, or the world. It is limited only by the boundaries you allow your mind to set. Break them every single day. Motivation is a liar. It shows up when you feel like it, teases you with bursts of energy, and disappears the moment life gets hard. One day you wake up fired up, ready to conquer the world. The next day, exhaustion, doubt, and the weight of responsibility pull you down, and motivation is nowhere to be found. It leaves you stranded, waiting for a feeling that will never come consistently. Motivation is unreliable because it depends on your mood, your circumstances, the external world. Discipline, on the other hand, is permanent. Discipline doesn't wait for feelings. Discipline shows up when you do not feel like it. Discipline forces action when excuses scream, stop. Here's the reality. If you wait to feel motivated, you will never reach your potential. Waiting for the perfect mood, the perfect moment, or the perfect set of conditions is the excuse you don't admit you're making. Every high achiever, every person who has conquered limits and defied odds operates not on fleeting motivation, they operate on discipline. They show up every day, consistently, and do the work no one else wants to do. That is how results are built, not by bursts of inspiration, but by relentless, repeated action. Discipline begins with daily habits. Your identity is forged in the small, repeated actions you take when nobody is watching. The discipline to make the bed every morning, to hit the gym even when exhausted, to focus on the task at hand when distraction beckons. These are the invisible threads that weave the fabric of your character. Habits are the foundation, and when habits are consistent, discipline becomes effortless. You no longer rely on motivation because you have trained yourself to act regardless of how you feel. It is in those low-energy moments, when your mind screams to quit, when your body begs for rest, that discipline defines you. That is where the real work happens. Motivation will never be there to push you through the pain, but discipline will. Discipline is the muscle you build by forcing action when every instinct tells you to stop. Every time you resist the urge to quit, every time you push past comfort, you are strengthening that muscle, and with it, you create a version of yourself that cannot be shaken by laziness or doubt. Let's be clear, discipline is not about perfection, it's about showing up again and again in the face of resistance. It's about choosing action over inaction, consistently, no matter the circumstances. It's about creating momentum when none exists. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is rarely talent or luck. It is the ability to do the work when it is hard, when it hurts, and when you do not feel like doing it. That is the essence of discipline. That is what separates mediocrity from mastery. Here's a metaphor. Imagine an athlete training in darkness while the world sleeps. No crowds, no applause, no recognition, just the sound of breath, the burn of muscles, the ache in the body, and the voice in the head screaming to stop. Motivation would leave that athlete in bed. Discipline drives them forward. Every rep, every mile, every set performed in silence builds a strength that cannot be bought or borrowed. That is the power of discipline, the ability to act when feeling powerless, to continue when comfort tempts you to quit. The do-it-anyway mindset is essential. This is where you act without waiting for mood, without waiting for inspiration, without waiting for validation. You do it because you made a commitment to yourself. You do it because your future depends on the actions you take today. You do it because you are unwilling to remain mediocre while the rest of the world thrives. This mindset turns resistance into fuel, obstacles into opportunities, and fatigue into a proving ground. Every time you act without feeling motivated, you solidify a foundation for greatness. Discipline also rewires your perception of effort. When you rely on motivation, effort is optional, and quitting is easy. When you operate on discipline, effort becomes the standard. Pain, exhaustion, and discomfort are not deterrents, they are signals that you are on the right path. The more consistent your discipline, the less power excuses and weakness have over you. You move through life with an unstoppable rhythm because you have trained your mind to act regardless of circumstance. You no longer ask, do I feel like it? You simply act. You simply execute. This is where most people fail. They wait for motivation to come to them. They rely on feelings to guide them. And when life hits, they collapse. But you are not most people. You are building a mindset that does not negotiate with laziness, weakness, or fleeting emotions. You are creating a self that moves first and feels later, a self that acts regardless of comfort, and a self that refuses to leave progress to chance. That is the power of discipline. It is a permanent state, an unstoppable force, a weapon against complacency. So start today, show up even when you don't feel like it, do the work even when your body protests. Focus on the small habits, the repeated actions, the relentless consistency that no one sees. Every rep, every word type, every difficult choice, every uncomfortable minute is a brick in the fortress of your discipline. Motivation will fail you. Excuses will beg you to stop. But discipline will never quit. Discipline will carry you through the pain, through the doubt, through the moments when your mind tells you that enough is enough. Discipline is what transforms weakness into strength, hesitation into action, and dreams into reality. The choice is simple. Continue waiting for motivation and remain average, or build discipline and become unstoppable. The difference between who you are and who you can become is measured not in inspiration but in action, not in intention but in execution, not in what you feel but in what you do anyway. Choose discipline. Dominate yourself, take control, show up, do it anyway. Every day you think you know yourself, you think you understand your limits, but most people live their lives in a state of self-deception. They hide behind routines, distractions, and excuses, believing that because no one else sees their weakness, it doesn't exist. That is a lie. The first step toward real change is brutal honesty. You must see yourself clearly, stripped of pretense, and recognize every place where you are soft, vulnerable, or holding back. Self-deception is the deadliest enemy you will face. It whispers in your ear every day, you're good enough, you're trying your best, you don't need more. It cloaks laziness in virtue, excuses in justification, and fear in comfort. If you accept these lies, if you continue to fool yourself, you will never know what you are truly capable of. You will never step into the arena of your potential. To confront your weakness, you must rip off that mask and face the truth, even if it's uncomfortable, even if it burns, even if it shatters your pride. Start with an honest audit of your life. Where are you falling short? Where are you avoiding the work that matters? Which parts of your mind and body are undeveloped? Which skills have you neglected? What habits are destroying your progress? This is not a time for sugarcoating or self-pity. Every missed opportunity, every excuse, every failure is a data point to clue to the weaknesses that are keeping you small. Write them down, name them, and do not flinch. When you do this, vulnerability transforms from a threat into a weapon. Accept harsh truths without justification. Stop explaining away your failures. Stop blaming circumstances, luck, or other people. Every shortcoming is yours to own, and every weakness is yours to conquer. This is where radical accountability meets brutal self-awareness. To grow, you must take ownership not just of your successes, but of every place you have fallen short. That ownership is uncomfortable, it is humbling, it is exposing, but it is also liberating. Once you can see yourself honestly, once you can name your weaknesses without excuses, you have the power to attack them directly. Turning vulnerability into fuel is the next step. Your weaknesses are not permanent, they are not destiny, they are the fire that will forge your strength if you are willing to confront them head on. The mind, the body, and the habits that have held you back are raw material. Every fear you face, every limitation you challenge, every flaw you address is ammunition for your transformation. Vulnerability is not weakness, it is the blueprint for resilience. Those who understand their flaws and attack them relentlessly become unstoppable. Those who hide from them remain trapped in mediocrity. Imagine a warrior standing naked before battle, exposed, unarmed, and facing the storm. Every person around him sees his vulnerability. Every instinct tells him to run. But instead of fleeing, he stands tall, acknowledges his weakness, and begins to strengthen himself where he is most fragile. That is the mindset you must adopt. Do not shy away from the parts of yourself that are soft. Do not pretend they do not exist. Instead, confront them with unrelenting intensity. Train them, condition them, attack them until the strength that emerges is undeniable, unshakable, unstoppable. This is where most people fail. They never step into the arena of their own weakness. They avoid self-reflection. They avoid the hard work of improvement. They let life pass without testing themselves where it matters most. But not you. You are willing to step into the fire. You are willing to name the truth. You are willing to stare into the parts of yourself that have been ignored, neglected, or hidden and say, not anymore. This confrontation is uncomfortable. It is raw. It is painful. But it is the only path to true transformation. The process is simple but brutal. List your weaknesses. Feel the shame, the frustration, the anger, and then channel it. Decide that these weaknesses are no longer acceptable. Create a plan to attack them daily. Let every training session, every difficult task, every uncomfortable moment be a strike against the soft version of yourself. This is how you turn introspection into action, honesty into results, and vulnerability into power. Every time you confront a weakness, you take control of your life. Every time you name the truth and refuse to compromise, you push closer to the person you were meant to become. This section is not about comfort. It is not about soft reflection or gentle self-improvement. It is about brutal acknowledgement, relentless action, and refusing to allow weakness to define your existence. By facing your vulnerability and attacking it with consistency and intensity, you lay the foundation for the next level of transformation. The mid-video intensity spike is coming, but before that, you must stand naked before your weaknesses, look them straight in the eye, and decide that nothing, no excuse, no fear, no limitation will stop you from conquering them. Only when you fully embrace the discomfort of self-examination can you harness the fire needed to drive you into the next phase. Relentless action, radical accountability, and the unshakable, unstoppable mindset that will carry you past limits no one else is willing to face. Stop. Take a moment and ask yourself, how much time have you wasted? How many mornings have you woken up and told yourself, tomorrow will be different, while tomorrow after tomorrow slipped by, leaving you in the same place, weaker, softer, unfulfilled? Stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending that life will wait for you to get ready. Life doesn't care about your excuses. Life doesn't wait for you to feel motivated, to find courage, to muster willpower. Life is moving, whether you step up or stay stagnant. Every second that passes is a second you can never get back. Every moment of hesitation is a moment stolen from the person you could become. Picture this, your life is a handful of sand slipping through your fingers. Every thought of comfort, every lie you tell yourself about why you can't, every delay you justify, it's a grain of sand falling forever into the void. One day you'll look back and see the pile of wasted time, the opportunities you let pass, the potential you buried under excuses, and the regret will crush you harder than any physical pain ever could. Can you feel it? The weight of all the not nows, the I'll do it later, the I can't today? That weight is pressing against you even now, and it won't relent until you act. Not tomorrow, not next week, now. You are comfortable because you have chosen comfort. You are soft because you have allowed weakness to live in your bones. Every indulgence, every delay, every avoidance has trained you to accept mediocrity. And it is working. Right now, this second, you are a product of every compromise you've ever made. That is the reality you've been avoiding. The truth is uncomfortable, and it should be. You should feel it burning in your chest, scratching at your skin, screaming in your mind. Enough. Stop wasting your life. Stop whining. Start doing. Say it. Say it until it cuts through the fog in your head. Stop whining. Start doing. Say it until the words pierce your excuses and leave nothing standing in their place. Repeat it over and over in your mind, because the voice that screams for action must be louder than the voice that begs for comfort. Stop whining. Start doing. Stop waiting. Stop hoping. Stop lying to yourself. Action is the only antidote to the sickness of regret. Action is the only way to escape the cage of mediocrity you've built with your own hands. Visualize the future if you don't act. Picture yourself a year from now. Nothing has changed. The same habits, the same compromises, the same excuses. You look in the mirror and see someone weaker, someone older, someone slower, someone who has been overtaken by the relentless march of life while you remain frozen. Can you see it? That reflection is the future you are creating every time you delay, every time you choose ease, every time you justify weakness. And it doesn't care about your feelings. That future doesn't negotiate. That future doesn't forgive. That future exists only if you continue to ignore the warnings, and it will hit harder than anything you've ever felt. Now imagine the alternative. You strike back. You refuse to wait. You refuse to compromise. You refuse to let comfort dictate your actions. You attack every day. with intensity, focus, and relentless discipline. Every task, every challenge, every pain becomes fuel. You stop apologizing for your hunger, for your ambition, for your drive. You own it, you dominate it, you transform it into the energy that will shatter the future you fear into pieces and rebuild it in your image. That is the power of urgency. That is what it means to say, no more comfort, no more delay. Feel the crushing pressure of time. Hear it ticking. Every second a hammer striking the foundation of your excuses. The world doesn't pause while you consider. It doesn't slow down while you wait for courage. It doesn't care that you're tired, scared, or unready. And here's the point you must understand. The longer you wait, the further behind you fall. Your competition, your responsibilities, your opportunities, they're not waiting. Every second is an advantage lost, a battle lost, a potential unrealized. The crushing reality is simple. Hesitation is death to progress. Delay is death to growth. And if you do not act now, you are already losing. This is where most people fail. They feel the discomfort of urgency and retreat. They sense the pressure, and instead of striking back, they hunker down hoping the storm passes. But the storm does not pass. The storm is life. The storm is time. The storm is the consequence of inaction. And you are not here to cower. You are not here to hope. You are here to act, to fight, to seize control of every grain of sand slipping through your fingers. You are here to demand more from yourself than you have ever demanded before, and then to deliver. Your mission in this moment is simple: total and immediate action. Stop analyzing, stop rationalizing, stop softening the blow with excuses. Stop watching life go by while you remain a spectator. Stop delaying the person you are meant to become. This is not a rehearsal. This is not practice. This is your life slipping faster than you realize. Strike now, move now, push now. Everything else is weakness disguised as choice. And when the doubt returns, when the fear rises, when your body or mind screams to stop, remember this: comfort has never built champions. Delay has never created greatness. Excuses have never forged unbreakable strength. You are stronger than every obstacle you imagine. You are faster than every fear that whispers. You are capable of far more than you allow yourself to believe. The only thing standing between you and that strength is immediate, relentless, uncompromising action. Feel it in your bones. Let it burn through your chest. Let it claw at your mind. You are running out of time. You are running out of opportunities. You are running out of chances to become the version of yourself who does not settle. Let this spike in intensity fracture the lies you tell yourself. Let it destroy the excuses you cling to. Let it ignite the fire that will propel you into the next phase. Identity reconstruction, radical transformation, and unshakable mental toughness. No more comfort, no more delay. Stop whining, start doing. Your life is waiting, and it will not wait forever. The mind is where battles are truly won. Your body can push, your discipline can act, but the mind decides if you succeed or fail long before your hands, legs, or lungs even get involved. Right now, your thoughts are either building you up or tearing you down. Most people let their inner voice run wild, softening their edges, convincing them that they can't, that they're not enough, that the pain is too much. But the truth is simple. Your mind is a tool, and like any tool, it can be sharpened, strengthened, and conditioned to dominate any obstacle. Stop letting your thoughts betray you. Stop letting fear, doubt, and excuses live in your skull like unwelcome tenants. It's time to take control of your inner dialogue, to rewrite the story you've been telling yourself since the day you first accepted limitation. Every time you say, I can't, every time you hesitate, every time you tell yourself this is too hard, you are programming failure into your mind. That ends today. You are going to train your mind like a weapon. You are going to hammer your thought patterns into unbreakable steel. Start with your self-talk. Notice every time your brain whispers weakness, identify it, name it, and immediately replace it with truth and command. I can't becomes I will. This is too hard becomes I will endure, I will conquer. Every word you speak to yourself is either sharpening the blade of your potential or dulling it. You cannot win external battles if your internal voice is an enemy. The mind is your first battlefield, and the outcome determines everything else. Conditioning your mind is not theoretical, it is deliberate, consistent, and unrelenting. Like a blacksmith hammering raw steel, you must strike your thoughts over and over until they bend to your will. Imagine each repetition of focus, each mental visualization, each affirmation of strength as a strike against the weakness and doubt inside you. With each strike, the steel of your mental resilience becomes harder, sharper, unbreakable. Pain, fear, distraction, these are the hammer. Discipline, repetition, and relentless internal command. These are the forge. Pressure is your greatest teacher. The mind thrives under challenge, but only if you train it. Seek situations that push you mentally, emotionally, and physically. Put yourself in positions where fear and discomfort rise to the surface and refuse to flinch. Practice staying calm when your body screams to quit. Practice clarity when chaos surrounds you. Practice focus when every instinct says stop. Your brain, like your body, adapts. The more you expose it to controlled stress, the more it learns to perform under fire. Mental repetition is the training ground for resilience. Your mind is a muscle. It must be exercised, strained, and expanded under pressure to become unstoppable. Visualization is another weapon. Every champion sees the finish line long before they reach it. Every victor imagines success in vivid detail while still facing the battle. Close your eyes and picture yourself succeeding in the moments you fear. Feel the fatigue in your muscles, but imagine pushing through it. Hear your heartbeat pounding, but see yourself moving faster, enduring longer, achieving more. Mental rehearsal prepares the mind for reality. The brain cannot distinguish vivid, repeated imagination from action. When you see victory in your mind first, your body and spirit follow. You are training the mind to refuse defeat before the fight even begins. Consistency is everything. One visualization, one moment of mental toughness, one repeated affirmation will not forge an unbreakable mind. Daily practice, repeated confrontation with your internal resistance, constant mental conditioning, this is what builds resilience. Every time you discipline your thoughts, every time you replace doubt with command, every time you focus on strength instead of weakness, you hammer the steel of your character into perfection. This is internal mastery. This is the forge where mental toughness is created. The escalation is subtle but powerful. In the first half of this hour, you've battled external forces, excuses, weakness, comfort, and delay. Now, the battle moves inward. The obstacles are no longer just physical or situational, they are mental. Fear, hesitation, distraction, doubt, self-sabotage, these are the true enemies, and they are relentless. But if you have built the discipline, endured the suffering, pushed past 40%, and confronted your weakness, you are ready. You are ready to take command of the thoughts that once held you hostage. You are ready to dominate from the inside out. This is the mindset of the unstoppable. Every challenge you face will be met first in the mind and then in action. Every test of endurance, every moment of pain, every decision under stress will be filtered through a mind that has been conditioned to refuse compromise, refuse hesitation, refuse weakness. You will not be swayed by fear, distracted by doubt, or broken by discomfort. Your mind will guide your body with precision and purpose. Your inner dialogue will no longer betray you, it will drive you. The final point is simple. Mastery of the mind precedes mastery of life. You cannot control every circumstance, every challenge, every opponent, but you can control your thoughts, your focus, your internal commands. Build them strong, build them sharp, build them relentless. Train the voice inside to push, to endure, to dominate, to refuse surrender. When your mind becomes unshakable, nothing outside can break you, nothing outside can slow you, nothing outside can stop the force you have become. This is where identity begins to solidify. You are no longer the person who hesitates. You are no longer the person who quits at 40%. You are no longer the person controlled by fear, comfort, or doubt. You are the one who decides, the one who dominates, the one who endures, acts, and conquers. This is the foundation for the next phase, taking the mental strength you have forged and embedding it into every action, every habit, every choice. The unstoppable mind is your new weapon. Wield it without mercy. Wield it without hesitation. Wield it until the weak version of yourself is destroyed completely. Everything in your life is a reflection of the decisions you've made. Every relationship, every career outcome, every physical and mental limit, these are the results of your choices. Stop blaming circumstances, stop blaming your environment, stop blaming your upbringing, your genetics, or the unfairness of life. That is weakness disguised as explanation. The hard truth is that you are responsible for every inch of your reality, and until you accept that, nothing will change. Ownership is not optional. It is the only way to reclaim control over your life. Extreme ownership begins with brutal honesty. Look at your failures, your shortcomings, your moments of hesitation, and stop rationalizing them away. Every time something goes wrong, ask yourself one question: what did I do or fail to do that created this outcome? Stop pointing fingers. Stop making excuses. Stop expecting others to rescue you or life to deliver fairness. Life is neither fair nor unfair, it simply is. And it reflects back to you exactly what you allow and what you do. Consider a captain navigating a storm. Waves crash over the deck, winds tear at the sails, and the crew panics. A weak captain blames the storm, blames the crew, blames the tide. But a strong captain understands one thing: the outcome of this journey rests entirely in my hands. Every decision, every command, every action determines whether the ship survives or sinks. That is extreme ownership. The storm does not define him. The storm is just the test. And the stronger he takes control, the more he can steer the chaos towards success. Your life is your ship. Your actions are the rudder. Nothing external will steer you unless you allow it. Ownership eliminates excuses. When you own everything, there is no room for whining, for blaming, or for hoping someone else fixes the problem. High achievers operate on this principle. They recognize that failure is not a punishment, tight is a blueprint. Every misstep is data. Every obstacle is a lesson. Every setback is a chance to evaluate, adjust, and execute better. They do not hide from responsibility, they attack it. They do not lament over what was unfair. They correct it, innovate, and dominate. That is the difference between those who remain average and those who refuse to be ordinary. Look at your own life. How many times have you blamed circumstances for why you aren't where you want to be? How many excuses have kept you soft, stuck, or waiting? Now, imagine flipping the switch. You are 100% responsible. The job you hate, the health you neglect, the relationships you struggle with, all of it is a result of your actions or inactions. The power in this realization is enormous. It is uncomfortable, yes, because it removes the convenient safety net of blame, but it is also liberating because it puts every outcome firmly within your control. No one else can fix it, no one else can save it, only you can. Extreme ownership also requires ruthlessness with your habits and behaviors. Stop tolerating mediocrity. Stop allowing procrastination, distraction, and weakness to dictate outcomes. Every habit you maintain shapes your results. Every small decision compounds. The morning you skip training, the email you leave unsent, the hard conversation you avoid, these may seem insignificant, but they are the building blocks of failure if you refuse to own them. Conversely, the deliberate actions you take when no one is watching, the consistent discipline, the relentless attention to what you can control, these are the bricks of mastery. Ownership lives in the small things just as much as in the large. Here's the escalation. Extreme ownership is not just about the tangible results. It is about identity. When you internalize the mindset that you and only you control your outcomes, excuses die. Fear loses power. Comfort becomes irrelevant. Weakness cannot hide. You move through life as the captain of your ship, the architect of your reality, the one who steers through storms while the rest panic. You recognize that no one else is responsible for your victories, and no one else is responsible for your defeats. Ownership becomes your armor and your weapon. Finally, understand this: ownership does not mean perfection. You will fail, you will stumble, you will make mistakes. But when you own every failure, when you refuse to blame anyone else, you convert setbacks into fuel. Every loss, every obstacle, every misstep becomes data for refinement, improvement, and execution. Extreme ownership is the ultimate mindset of control. It transforms chaos into opportunity, mistakes into lessons, and weakness into unshakable power. Take it all in. Your life is your responsibility. Every decision, every action, every habit, every thought, every response owned completely by you. No excuses, no blame, no waiting for permission. This is the mindset of the relentless, the disciplined, the unbreakable. Extreme ownership is the bridge between chaos and mastery. It is the point where mental toughness becomes real, identity solidifies, and the path to unstoppable action becomes irreversible. Your mission: start today, own everything. Stop blaming the storm, the crew, the world. Take full responsibility. Examine your life with brutal honesty. Identify every area where you've accepted mediocrity, weakness, or failure. Correct it, attack it, improve it, repeat it daily. This is not optional. This is what separates the soft from the unbreakable, the average from the extraordinary. Extreme ownership is the foundation upon which the rest of your transformation will be built. The storm you've endured in the past 50 minutes, the pain, the suffering, the relentless confrontation with your own weakness brought you to a turning point. Every ounce of discomfort, every moment of hesitation, every fear you've stared down has not been in vain. This is the moment where the person you were, the one soft, compliant, shaped by circumstance, dies. In its place rises someone different, someone relentless, someone disciplined, someone unconquerable. This is the moment where your internal world transforms, and that transformation is permanent. You have fought through the discomfort, and now it becomes the foundation upon which your new self is built. Relentlessness is born in the fire of confrontation with yourself. You have stared at every excuse, every fear, every limitation, and you've refused to look away. Now you take that weakness, that hesitation, that self-doubt, and you turn it into fuel. You do not just endure discomfort to harness it. Every failure from your past, every moment you chose comfort over growth, every time you settled for mediocrity, all of it becomes ammunition for the person you are becoming. Weakness no longer has the power to define you. Instead, it becomes the energy you carry forward. The truth is harsh but simple. There is no limit except the one you accept. Every boundary, every restriction, every self-imposed cage can be shattered if you refuse to comply with it. There are no limits, there are no excuses. Mediocrity is a choice, and so is greatness. Tomorrow, when you wake, trying will no longer be enough. You must dominate your day. Saying, "I'll do my best" is not sufficient. You must act with purpose, with intensity, with refusal to yield. Weakness will not dictate your actions. Hesitation will not slow you. Fear will not control you. Every moment of discomfort is proof that you are alive, that you are growing, that the only path forward is forward relentlessly without compromise. Your actions, your consistency, and your persistence must now reflect this new identity. They are no longer optional. They are non-negotiable. Every choice, every task, every decision reinforces the mantra that has become your truth. I am stronger than my fears. Repeat it, live it. Let it drive everything you do. Picture Phoenix rising from ashes. Every mistake, every doubt, every failure you've endured now becomes fuel for your rebirth. The person who hesitated yesterday, who flinched at difficulty, who accepted compromise, no longer exists. From the fire of suffering emerges a sharper, stronger, unstoppable version of yourself. Every flame of discomfort you endured now becomes wings that lift you higher than you ever imagined. Relentlessness is not just about action, it is about refusing half measures, refusing excuses, refusing to settle for anything less than the full extent of your potential. Strength is forged through struggle, through consistency, through ownership, and now that principle courses through your bones. Laziness cannot survive here. Softness is irrelevant. You exist to act, to dominate, to endure, to be relentless in all areas of life. Discipline now becomes inseparable from your identity. It is no longer something you do, it is who you are. Your habits dictate your life, but your identity dictates your habits. Once this new identity has been forged, consistency is effortless. Shortcuts cease to exist. Every action aligns with purpose. Every decision reinforces the relentless, uncompromising self you have chosen to embody. There are no exceptions, no excuses. Discipline requires action even when your mind screams to stop. It demands persistence even when your body begs for relief. Motivation is irrelevant because your identity enforces the rules. Inaction is impossible. Compromise is meaningless. Consistency is absolute. Your habits are now the outward expression of this internalized discipline. You no longer skip training, no longer avoid difficult tasks, no longer settle for easy wins. Every action reflects the identity of relentless execution. Daily tasks are no longer burdens. They are proof of who you are. Every strike you make, every choice you commit to, every refusal to yield chips away at weakness until only strength remains. Imagine a sculptor chiseling a block of marble. Each strike is deliberate, precise, and relentless. Slowly, the raw stone reveals the masterpiece hidden within. Each habit, each act of discipline, each moment of refusal to quit shapes the final form, the strong, disciplined, unstoppable you. You are the sculptor. There is no room for shortcuts. Every day is another strike, another step toward perfection, another reinforcement of your unshakable identity. Mental fortitude now becomes the final pillar of this transformation. You must face discomfort, adversity, and chaos without flinching. Pain is no longer a signal to stop, it is a signal to attack. Exhaustion is no longer a reason to retreat, it is an opportunity to prove your strength. Every challenge, every test, every moment of stress is now fuel for your transformation. You have trained your mind to endure. You have trained your habits to execute. You have redefined your identity to be relentless. Now you must prove it under pressure. Focus under extreme stress becomes automatic. Storms will rise, fatigue will strike, distractions will scream. But you are ready, your mind is trained, your habits are disciplined, your identity demands perseverance. Chaos cannot shake you. Adversity cannot break you. You are unconquerable. Your foundation has been rebuilt stone by stone, habit by habit, mindset by mindset. Every step you take in hardship proves your resilience. Every deliberate act reinforces your strength. You are climbing a mountain in a storm. The wind tears at your body. Snow blinds your eyes. Every muscle screams to stop, and yet you do not stop. You move forward because your mind refuses to yield. Every breath, every motion, every deliberate choice reinforces that this is the self who will endure, rise, and conquer. Every challenge is no longer an obstacle, it is an opportunity to demonstrate the unbreakable nature of the person you have become. You are no longer the person who hesitated, who flinched, who accepted weakness. You are relentless, you are disciplined, you are unbreakable. Every lesson you have absorbed from suffering, from confronting weakness, from extreme ownership, and from forging your habits converges here. The foundation is complete. The fire within burns brighter than ever. The summit is no longer distant, it is within reach. You are the storm, and the storm no longer controls you. You are the mountain climber, the sculptor, the phoenix. You are the relentless self, the disciplined self, the unshakable self. Every moment from here forward is an expression of this identity. Every choice reinforces it, every struggle strengthens it, every action proves that you have become who you were always meant to be. Everything in your life is a reflection of the choices you've made. Every relationship, every achievement, every limitation is the direct result of your actions, sir, the absence of them. Stop blaming circumstances, stop blaming the environment, stop blaming other people, stop hiding behind excuses. That is weakness masquerading as explanation. The hard truth is brutal, but is also liberating. You are responsible for everything. Every failure, every setback, every shortcoming, own it. Extreme ownership is not optional. It is the only way to reclaim control over your life. Take a hard look at your past. Examine your failures without excuses. Every time something went wrong, ask yourself, what did I do or fail to do that created this outcome? Stop pointing fingers. Stop waiting for someone else to fix it. Stop hoping the world will deliver fairness. Life doesn't operate on fairness, it simply reflects back what you allow. Your success, your failure, your strength, your weakness, they are all mirrors of your choices. When you own everything, you stop whining, you stop blaming, you stop letting fear, laziness, and hesitation dictate your reality. Ownership transforms setbacks into fuel, mistakes into lessons, and chaos into opportunity. You cannot control everything outside yourself, but you can control your response. Extreme ownership demands ruthlessness with your actions, your habits, and your thoughts. Stop tolerating mediocrity. Stop letting procrastination, distraction, and avoidance dictate your life. Every habit you maintain shapes your outcomes. Every small decision compounds. The morning you skip training, the task you postpone, the hard conversation you avoid, all of it adds up. But when you own it completely, every action becomes deliberate, every choice intentional, every moment an opportunity to reinforce the person you are becoming. Ownership is not just about results, it is about identity. When you accept that you and only you are responsible for your life, excuses die, fear loses power, weakness has nowhere to hide. You move through life as the captain of your ship, the architect of your reality, the one who steers through storms while others panic. You recognize that no one else is responsible for your victories and no one else is responsible for your failures. Ownership becomes both armor and weapon. It is the foundation of discipline, relentlessness, and unshakable mental toughness. And this ownership must lead to transformation. Your old self, the one who hesitated, who flinched, who accepted compromise, it is here. From the ashes of weakness rises a new identity. Relentlessness is now your fuel. Every failure you've endured, every excuse you've told yourself, every moment you chose comfort over growth, these become weapons in your hands. You will no longer settle for mediocrity. You will attack each day with intention, with energy, with discipline. Hesitation will be erased. Fear will be neutralized. Weakness will be weaponized into relentless action. Discipline is no longer something you do, it's who you are. Your habits, your routines, your choices, they now flow automatically from this new identity. You do not skip, you do not delay, you do not compromise. Your actions reflect the self you have chosen to become, consistent, unyielding, uncompromising. Each act, each repetition, each refusal to quit is a strike against the weak version of yourself, and each one reinforces the stronger, relentless version. You are the sculptor of your life, chiseling away at the raw stone of your old habits until only strength remains. Mental fortitude is now your standard. You face discomfort without flinching. Pain becomes fuel. Fatigue becomes opportunity. Every challenge is a test, and every test is proof of your unconquerable self. Storms will rise, chaos will scream, the world will demand compromise. You will not yield. Your mind is trained. Your habits are disciplined. Your identity is relentless. Every step forward is proof. Every breath, every choice, every act confirms the person you have become. You are no longer the person who hesitated, who flinched, who accepted weakness. You are relentless. You are disciplined. You are unbreakable. Every lesson you have learned from suffering, from ownership, from confronting your weakness, converges here. The foundation is complete. The fire within burns hotter than ever. Every moment from here on is an expression of your new identity. Every action, every choice, every struggle reinforces the self you have forged. You are the storm, you are the phoenix rising, and the person you were yesterday has no power over you. You are relentless, you are disciplined, you are unstoppable.